Welcome into the first episode of the Dirty Laundry Podcast, a weekly episodic show where me and Rami are going to air out our dirty laundry on sports topics around the world. You know what I'm saying? It's been a great week so far, Rami. We got Lil Uzi Vert's album dropping. None of us have the coronavirus. We're here with our Tide. We're here with our bleach. Let's get to cleaning out this dirty ass laundry.
Yes, sir. All right, so today we're going to be doing a 2020 NFL mock draft. We kind of came up with a collective mock draft, Amir and I, evaluating these players, watching film, seeing combine and all that. So we came up with a mock draft, not what we think will happen, but more so if we were the GMs of all 32 teams.
With the first overall pick, me and Rami have got the Cincinnati Bengals selecting
Joe Burrow, quarterback out of LSU, 60 touchdowns and 6 interceptions with 5,600 yards in the 2019 season. Tell us a little bit about him, Amir.
Yeah, I mean, like, my NFL comparison for Joe Burrow is Tony Romo. His ability to escape out of the pocket and make plays down the field while keeping his eyes downfield are unparalleled in college football at this time and day. So him going into the NFL, I think he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. It's just a matter of if the Bengals hold up their bargain of this. By you drafting Joe Burrow, you have to put pieces around him for him to succeed. Burrow told Bengals officials that he wants them to franchise tag A.J. Green. Yeah. So if they do that, it's going to be a sign that this team and this organization is committed to Joe Burrow and committed to making him the successor of Andy Dalton and making him a better selection than Andy Dalton was.
Yeah, guy's a confident leader at quarterback, showed he can win national championship, Heisman winner in 2019. So this is the right pick to go with. And then number 2, the Washington Redskins went ahead and got Chase Young.
Yeah, they went ahead and got Chase Young, the best overall player in this class. I mean, he's probably one of the only players in the draft whose upside, his pure potential, pure upside, matches his production in college. Like, it matches it totally. Yeah. Broke the Ohio State record for sacks in a season.
16 and a half sacks.
16 and a half sacks.
Missing 2 games, by the way.
Yeah, missed 2 games. And then he had, what 6 forced fumbles?
Yeah, 6 forced fumbles.
6 forced fumbles on the season. And so this comes after we see Joey come out, we see Nick come out. That only ever helps a prospect stock when you see other players at the same position from the same school. As much as people don't want to admit it, as much as people say, don't scout the helmets, when you're coming from an elite program like that, who has produced 2 of the best edge prospects we've seen in the last 10 years. You've got to go ahead and select Chase Young here.
Look, and there's rumors saying that they might take Tua. They might take a quarterback here at number 2 over Chase Young. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Redskins are blowing smoke. Much like last year, the Washington Redskins were talking about selecting Daniel Jones at number 15. Yeah. The New York Giants bit the cheese, took Jones at 6, and the Redskins thought they had a steal in Haskins at 15. Now, I mean, it's wavering. Who's better? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we'll see in the long run. But I think the Redskins, again, are blowing smoke, trying to get a team to trade up. But I think the best move is go get Chase Young.
You know, whether this new coaching staff, whether they like Haskins or not, let him marinate one more year in this system with these weapons that he has. Try and figure it out. If it doesn't work, go get a quarterback next year in that loaded draft class. And then let's go 3 through 5 here. The Lions selecting Jeff Okudah, corner from Ohio State. Giants taking Andrew Thomas from Georgia, tackle. And then number 5, Dolphins taking another tackle off the board, Jedrick Wills from Alabama.
Yeah, so we're going to see 2 tackles go off the board at 4 and 5. And then we see Okudah, instead of a trade-up scenario, again, we're predicting no trades in this mock draft. Yeah. And so we see Okudah go at 3. What's your explanation for Okudah's fit in Detroit?
Look, this guy, I want to say best available, especially on my board. Look, very good in man coverage, physical corner, not the fastest 40, not what we expected considering what we saw in film, his speed on the field that we saw, but very fluid, has good technique. This is the guy to go with. Whether you're going to keep Darius Slay or trade him, you take this guy.
Yeah, and I think I like what you said about the physicality, because he's not one of those man corners who's going to get lost with the bigger guys, who struggles with ball skills or who struggles in run support. No, he's going to come up and hit you. Yeah. He's got potential to be one of those guys who in the cover 2 flats. If it's a zone run going to the outside on his side of the field, he's going to light his ass up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jeff Okudah just has that ability. He hasn't allowed 50 yards in a single game in 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This guy's just a beast.
Crazy technique. I mean, sloppy in what way?
Sloppy in what way? Sloppy in what way? Exactly. That's a perfect quote from Jeff Okudah. Rami, a lot of Giants fans banging the table right now. Why the hell are we taking a tackle here? I want Isaiah Simmons. I want Jerry Jeudy. I want the big, flashy guy.
Look, go get you the most polished tackle on our board, a 6'5", 320 from Georgia, Andrew Thomas. Powerful as hell. Can protect Daniel Jones. We know his fumbling issues. Right. Can help Saquon be even more dominant. Questions about whether, how good he is in open space because of his size. But, you can clean that up and take the best tackle here to really start to build your offense. You're not in win-now mode. Build that offensive line.
Yeah, and you're so right. I think tackle returns so much value here. A lot of people are saying Isaiah Simmons has to go here. He's the best player on the board. I just don't think taking a person who Dave Gettleman, I know he's going to play him at off-ball linebacker, or he's going to play him at inside linebacker. He's not returning the value for you at number 4 overall. Exactly. Go take a left tackle who's a technical pass blocker, powerful and accurate with his first punch. I mean, he struggles a bit with the bendy edge rushers, but once you teach him to get down in his stance, he was a little high at Georgia. Once he gets coached up in the NFL, this guy's going to be a starter for the next 10 to 15 years.
Right. And then number 5, the Dolphins taking Jedrick Wills, tackle out of Alabama. Look, great pass protector. A lot of the main thing that people say when they talk about him is that he's a dog. I mean, this guy's a goon. Like
he's a finisher. That's the word I use.
Yeah, he's mean. What do you have to say about he's played right tackle his whole career at Bama. If they want to move him to blindside at left tackle, what do you have to say?
I think he's going to be perfect for that situation. I mean, at Bama, he's playing right tackle for a lefty into a Tagovailoa, so that's perfect spot for him. He's a blindside tackle naturally. High school, he was playing left tackle for a right-hand quarterback.
Right.
And so, I mean, with Jedrick Wills, I think the only questions that I have about him when watching his tape is he struggles a bit against counter moves. Yeah. Like, he gets inconsistent in his technique, but that's just because he was just so dominant with his strength that at times he didn't even need technique. Yeah. But that's a sloppy habit to have. But he'll break out of that habit in the NFL where every single player is an elite player.
Right. And then number 6, the Los Angeles Chargers take Isaiah Simmons, safety/linebacker out of Clemson. Look, ran a 4.39 official 40. Can line up anywhere on that field. I mean, you heard it, safety/linebacker. How effective can he be, on inside run defense? But really, we want him to play safety. We want him to play back there.
Hey, I really do want him to play back there, but when you go into that position right there, you got to give this man the benefit of the doubt. This is what I give him for me. I say safety/linebacker/slot corner/outside corner/edge. I don't know. Whatever you want to do with him, it depends on the down and distance, but he offers immense upside at that strong safety Cam Chancellor role for the Los Angeles Chargers. You pair him with Derwin James, you know what? We're calling it the Legion of Doom. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. You pair those two together. Simmons, my comp for him is a bigger Derwin James. So you get big Derwin James, you get normal-sized Derwin James, and you just got a tandem that can wreak havoc along with a tenacious pass rush as well. That could be a scary defense for the Chargers.
Think about him in that division against Travis Kelce, who you're going to see twice a year. This guy can be our real, our first Kelce stopper here with his size and speed and coverage ability. You get this guy that can introduce positionless football in the NFL. They can use him in that division. He's so versatile. He's a beast. They're taking the next best available, and whatever quarterback they want to throw back there, you can sign, you can trade for, or you can draft in later rounds.
Yeah, for sure. And let's get to one of my favorite picks of the entire draft. Number 7 overall, we've got a new coach in Carolina, Matt Rule. We've got a new offensive coordinator in Carolina,
Joe Brady.
And we got a new quarterback in Carolina, Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love right now, no potential involved. He's the second best quarterback in this draft. But I also think that Jordan Love has the most upside out of any pick since 2017. He has immense upside. I see him as at his peak in the NFL, this guy could be a Colin Kaepernick, Patrick Mahomes hybrid. I mean, his 2018 tape was flawless. It was beautiful to watch. A lot of people are going to point to 2019 where he showed a lot of regression. 2018, he puts up 3,567 yards, 32 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and went 11-2. Okay, now I'm going to explain exactly why 2019 he showed some regression, Rami. It was a bad year. I mean, he threw 20 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, didn't get above 3,000 yards, but he lost his head coach Matt Wells to Texas Tech. Yeah. He had 10 new position coaches. He only returned 1 offensive lineman and lost 5 wide receivers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And even through all that struggle in his 2019 season, he still showed flashes of being an elite quarterback on the next level.
Right. And how many turnovers in the past 2 years? It was like 25, 24, something like that. And look, 19 of those came in his senior year when he had, all those starters out, that new coaching staff. Look, this guy's a big arm guy with a lot of upside, but he's not limited to just being a strong arm QB, and can also make plays with his legs. 4.74 40. He's 6'4", 223. Prototypical size right there.
Exactly.
And him and Joe Brady can really make some shake. Joe Brady, if you didn't know, that was the passing game coordinator for LSU last year on that championship run.
Yeah, super vertical. Wouldn't he like to get a vertical passer and Jordan Love? Okay, so the next 3 picks in our mock draft, at number 8, we've got the Arizona Cardinals taking Tristan Wirfs out of Iowa. Mm-hmm. At number 9, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking Derek Brown out of Auburn. And then at 10, we've got the Cleveland Browns selecting Josh Jones out of Houston. Now, Rami, this is another pick for us that a lot of people might disagree with. 8, the Cardinals have an opportunity to reunite CeeDee Lamb with Kyler Murray. Yeah, you know what? It's a dream scenario. Explain why Tristan Wirfs is the proper selection.
Look, that's the sexy pick, CD, whatever, Judy, Henry Ruggs, whatever. But look, that offensive line has struggled the past few years in Arizona. Look, this guy's a great pass blocker, Tristan Wirfs. A lot of people have him as their number 1 tackle by far. Not us, but, he's our next best available here. Look, like I said, they need line help. This guy can really protect Kyler Murray. He's a plug-and-play guy. With his short arms, people say that they, might need to move him to guard. What do you have to say? What do you think?
I mean, I think, and even if he is moved to guard, I think he offers value there at number 8, even if he is moved to guard earlier on in his career and then moves out to tackle. But I think a problem with him was he just wasn't getting full extension on his arms. I think his punches were a little weak. Yeah. He definitely can get stronger, needs to work on finishing blocks. But I also think he's the most athletic tackle in this class. He has great short area quickness. And what better scheme to put that short area quickness on the offensive line than Cliff Kingsbury?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's a dream fit for me. I love the fit of Wirfs in Arizona. Rami, tell me a little bit about the fit of Derek Brown going to Jacksonville.
Look, Derek Brown, defensive tackle from Auburn, great run stuffer and pass rusher, 6'5", 318. You got to get that inside pass rush developed. And they have, you pair this guy with Calais Campbell on the inside, Josh Allen on the edge. Look, the defense is the Jags' identity. This is a great fit for them. This is probably the second best prospect overall in this class, Derek Brown. So like I said, you Jags defensive identity. This is just the pick to go with right here.
Yeah, you definitely got to stick with that defensive identity. I mean, a lot of people are going to say you can go receiver here, but we've seen for the Jags early rounds it just hasn't worked out for them. I don't think it's their strong suit. Why not get the best player available? For a lot of people, this is the second best player in the class. Yeah. And you're getting him at 9. It's returning so much value. He offers so much upside as a pass rusher, and the fact that one of the best overall men in the NFL, Calais Campbell, off the field and on the field, is going to be his mentor.
Yeah, right.
I think it's a dream scenario for Derek Brown, and he'll get in there and be a young piece in the middle of that defense. You don't know what's going on with Telvin Smith, and so I feel like...
And who knows, if Yannick Ngakoue comes back, that'd be crazy.
I don't even know
elite pass rushers right
I wouldn't even know what to call that, but it's like what we were talking about with the Niners the other day. They invested so much into that D-line in the first round. A few of those picks were iffy. Solomon Thomas, I mean, there's questions about him being a bust.
Yeah.
But when you're selecting value at the edge spot, at pass rusher, I mean, it's gonna reap its benefits sooner than later. And we saw what the Niners did this year, getting to the Super Bowl with that pass rush.
Right.
And so it's, a team that a lot of people were talking about hopefully getting into the playoffs was the Cleveland Browns. What do we got them doing at 10 here?
They're getting Josh Jones, tackle out of Houston. Size and mobility are his best traits. This guy's a big guy that can that's a really good pass blocker. You need that guy to get back there and protect Baker. Look, you have all the assets on both sides of that ball. So go get you that tackle. The offensive line is your worst weakness right there. It's your weakest link. Fix that up, and you might see them in the playoffs with a new coach and all that.
Yeah, I mean, some questions for Josh Jones are his physical upside. He's not an elite athlete. He's an average athlete. He doesn't have elite strength when looked at on tape, but he has very quick feet. I think he's the best zone run blocker in this class, and he offers great upside in the RPO stuff that Cleveland does a lot. I think he's going to be great in those type of situations and in the zone running game with Nick Chubb back there. So I think it's a great pick for Cleveland, and they get a ton of value getting a tackle here at 10. I think 10 is more of a question of what tackle the Browns are going to take rather than what player they're going to take.
Yeah, and
they get the best tackle left.
Next best available right here. And then our next 3 picks, Jets, Raiders, and Colts, we see 2 receivers come off the board. Finally, we're at 11. And so Jets get Jerry Jeudy, receiver out of Alabama. Raiders get CeeDee Lamb, receiver out of Oklahoma. And Colts
are going to go out there and grab Tua Tagovailoa at 13. Mm-hmm. You know what? Let's talk about Tua first.
Yeah.
Okay? I think the Colts are the best destination for a quarterback, not even a quarterback, a prospect like this. You know what I'm saying? You got Frank Reich in there. He's the quarterback whisperer. I mean, mm-hmm. I love the way he's coached that team. They're never an easy out. We saw them beat Kansas City earlier this year.
Yeah.
I mean, Kansas City was injured, but that's no small feat. I think the Colts are a team that if they can get Tua Tagovailoa, they can get him healthy. That's one piece away from them being a legit contender in the AFC South.
And Indy needs a quarterback sooner or later. So, if you want to get Tua, let him sit behind Jacoby Brissett, a real veteran that can play, and let him nurse that hip injury. He can really come in and make an impact behind that offensive line with those weapons given. Who knows? They might get another receiver later in this draft. But we like Zach Pascal, T.Y., and Paris Campbell. Yeah. Still not super high on him. We've seen him, not perform his best in these big games.
Right.
But again,
we've only seen him play on the craziest offense I've ever seen in terms of personnel at Bama. It was just an influx of talent there. Mm-hmm. But I think that, Tua on the Colts here, that's just a spot where he can sit, he can develop. It's a good franchise for him to go to, good culture, and I think that that's the best spot for Tua Tagovailoa in terms of his ceiling at the NFL level, his success meter. He'll have the most success if he can get in there with the Indianapolis Colts. Now let's get into this CeeDee Lamb versus Jerry Jeudy talk, okay? Mm-hmm. We got the Jets taking Jeudy at 11. Mm-hmm. We've got the Raiders taking CeeDee at 12. These guys are neck and neck. Which one do you like better?
Look, I like Jeudy. He's a true number one at the next level, real polished. This guy can come in and make an immediate impact. Same with CeeDee Lamb, but I'm just really high on Jerry Jeudy. I've been like that for a couple of years now. Great route runner, can line up anywhere in the slot outside. Great speed and technique. This is the pick to go with for the Jets. Like you might say you need tackle, to fix up the offensive line, but a lot of, all our favorite tackles have been taken in the top 10.
Yeah, we have 4 tackles go in the top 10. So I think that the Jets, this is the best value spot. Like we're talking about, a word that's going to be used over and over again is value. The Jets get immense value here. CeeDee Lamb escaping the top 10 and falling to them at 11. You have no other choice but to take him here. If the Jets don't take him, I'm convinced they hate Sam Darnold. They just hate him. Like, there's no way that they can pass on one of these 2 receivers at 11 and say that they're confident in Sam Darnold's abilities.
Right. And then at number 12, the Raiders taking CeeDee Lamb, receiver out of Oklahoma. What do you like about this fit?
And you know what I really like about this fit? Criticism of mine of Derek Carr's is, on those plays where you need someone to go off script to make a play outside of the playbook, Derek Carr struggles to do that. 3rd and longs, 3rd and mediums, 4th and mediums and 4-down territory when you want to go for it. He's the type of guy, throws it out of bounds, throws it into the dirt to escape a sack instead of trying to extend the play and make that big play.
Crazy after the catch ability.
I think CeeDee Lamb, exactly, he offers that ability to be that huge play spark guy for the Raiders, improve Derek Carr's confidence. He hasn't really had confidence because he hasn't had a number 1 receiver ever since they traded away Amari Cooper. And so get your quarterback some confidence, get a number 1 receiver in there, and even if you aren't even confident in your quarterback, second round, I think Gruden would be very intrigued by Jacob Eason.
Yeah, and then, CD, good, not great speed, but, we've seen his after-the-catch ability.
Right.
His route running is not bad at all. It's very good. And so then at number 14, let's go 14 through 16 right here. Buccaneers taking Javon Kinlaw out of South Carolina. Broncos, Henry Ruggs, and the Falcons.
They're going to take A.J. Epinesa out of Iowa, and you know what I really want to touch on? Let's touch on the Henry Ruggs thing.
Yeah.
You know what? I think him. This is a copycat league. Okay, we got Mahomes and the Chiefs. They just won a damn Super Bowl. So the Broncos are sitting back. Elway, he's fired up. A team in his division just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the first time in 50 years. So he's sick to his stomach right now. He's seeing the success that they're having with Tyreek Hill and that tight end. You got your tight end last year, Noah Fant.
Right.
Go get your version of Tyreek Hill here in Henry Ruggs. You already got your big arm quarterback. You got Cortland Sutton on that other side. You plug in Henry Ruggs to that Denver Broncos offense, and they have legitimate upside that they haven't had since Peyton Manning.
Right, and they like Drew Lock. They like what they saw this season. If they want to, they're definitely going to go ahead and want to build with him. Look, Henry Ruggs is a speed demon. Like you said, can be their Tyreek Hill. And I think the Broncos are kind of getting out of that rebuild stage. And they really need to take this next step towards, okay, let's start building to compete.
Right.
And so this is a step you have to take. Everything else, it's really intact. You let Drew Lock really develop, and you bring Henry Ruggs in there. You got a real scary team. It's in a tough division, but
there's holes at corner here, but I don't think there's a corner that returns that value at 15. I mean, a lot of guys are pointing at Travion Diggs, but from what we've seen from Henry Ruggs so far, I mean, let's see what he runs at his pro day, but if he cuts that time at all, there's no telling if he even gets out of the top 12.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So it returns immense value for the Broncos here at 15. I think this cornerback class is, along with the wide receiver class, nice. It's deep.
It's up there with the depth.
It's a deep class. I like the class in terms of depth. I think the Broncos will have a chance to circle back around in the second, maybe in the third, and select a corner that has a high floor in the moment, and they can plug and play right away.
Yeah, and then so at 14, we had the Buccaneers taking Javon Kinlaw out of South Carolina. Crazy, explosive, powerful pass rusher. You get that guy to pair up with Shaq Barrett, who they're going to bring back on the franchise tag. Now, people want him to take quarterback. What do you think? Should they stick with Jameis Winston? Should they, wait to draft a quarterback, trade? What's going on over there?
Man, you know what? For me, my whole thing is you've got to put real pressure on Jameis Winston. If Ryan Griffin is Jameis Winston's backup again, he's gonna still throw the effort ball every now and then. You know what I mean? There's no leash on Winston to where he's feeling like, oh, there might be a guy behind me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it is a veteran, throw a veteran behind him. Throw someone in there to motivate Jameis Winston. Even if that is a Marcus Mariota, who went right after him. So I think the Buccaneers could explore a multitude of options in free agency. I also think that they're a prospect team to go get players like Jacob Eason and Jake Fromm, and even, you know what, man, I know a lot of people don't like the take, but even as Jalen Hurts, dude, I just don't know. These running quarterbacks nowadays, I know people have a lot of questions about their passing game, but have questions about Dak Prescott in terms of passing. And he showed the same electric run ability that Jalen Hurts had, but Hurts was just faster at the combine. And so I think here at 14, Kinlaw is obviously the best player available.
Best available right there for
super explosive out of his stance, like you mentioned. Violent hands, high motor. I mean, the only thing you can point to is he had limited production at South Carolina, but he showed the traits to be an elite, explosive player on the interior of an NFL team.
Right, and then at number 16, our last pick in this first half of this mock draft, the Atlanta Falcons taking A.J. Epinesa, edge rusher out of Iowa. Look, this guy's a plug-and-play guy that you can really throw in there and have an immediate impact. His ceiling, it's not that high. We know that. But, Atlanta would be great for him, given where he's being drafted, given the situation. He's not being relied on to carry the defense or anything like that. Plug him in there, he'll have an immediate impact. Pair him with Grady Jarrett.
Yeah, I mean, you pair him with Grady Jarrett. You got two solid players there on the front seven. I think A.J. Epinesa, He's the Michael Bennett type of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On passing downs, he can kick inside on those third down situations, but on first and second, he can play on the edge. You know what I'm saying? He offers some versatility in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're talking about the Atlanta Falcons, Vic Beasley and Adrian Claiborne are both free agents.
Yeah, Vic Beasley, they're gonna let walk. They said.
Yeah, of course they're gonna let him walk after the way he's been playing. But that leaves Tack McKinley and John Kaminsky on the edge.
Yeah, Falcons pass rush was struggling bad.
It was struggling terrible, and
it was the reason they were getting blown out most of those games.
Exactly, and you're losing the two top guys on a terrible pass rush. So I don't think there's any question about them taking edge here, but it's just a preference of who they'll take. A lot of people want to talk about Clavon Chason. I think that rudely reminds the Cardinals of Vic Beasley and his style of play. I think A.J. Epineza is a completely different style of player than Clavon Chason on the edge, and I think the Falcons will be looking for a bit more stability from that edge spot.
Yep. All right, so that's going to wrap up the first episode of the Dirty Laundry podcast. We'll be back Thursday for our 17 through 32 picks mock draft. Hope you enjoyed this edition.
Yeah, and you guys all stay safe out there. Make sure you sanitize it up. Clean all your laundry. Don't catch corona.
Listen to that new Uzi.
Listen to that new Uzi, too, for sure. We'll see you guys. Peace.